Hey guys, Sean Lentz here from Appalachian DIY, and today I'm going to show you guys how to ground and bond an electrical panel. So what we're going to be doing today here first is we're going to be running our ground wire, and to start that we're going to head outside. The first thing that we're going to be doing outside is we're going to be driving ground stakes down into the ground. We have our electrical panel directly behind this meter here, so what we're going to be doing is dropping straight down and driving our ground rod right in there. How we are going to be doing that, with 5/8 ground rod, we have this little attachment here. All that is it slips over the end and allows us to use a demolition hammer to hammer these down straight into the ground. It's a lot easier than using a sledge and trying to hold these things upright. What we're using is 5/8 grounding rod. This is copper plated. You can also get them galvanized. It doesn't really matter. A grounding rod is a grounding rod. Real quick with these grounding rods, the placement of them. We have a garage here. It's slab on grade, so I can see right to the edge of my slab. I know there's not going to be a concrete foot or anything under here, but if you're running these things down near a house, make sure you're stepped off at least a foot from your outside wall. That way you don't run this thing down into your footer and it stops a couple feet out of the ground. If you're crunched for space, you can also run these at an angle. But what we're going to do is we're going to run this one straight down right underneath this meter here. Here is our demo hammer, and it literally just fits right over top of that. Put it in hammer mode and let it sink in. So what we ended up doing with that first stake, we encountered two rocks, one around 4 feet. We ended up just using a sledge to sledge through that one. Got almost all the way down, about a foot left. Well, we used the sledge again to break through that and then just drove it the rest of the way with the demo hammer. We have a really hard rocky clay soil around here, so it's super hard to drive some of this stuff, but way better than sledging it all the way down through. So now what we're going to do is we're going to measure off of our first grounding stake 6 feet. It needs to be a minimum of 6 feet. It can be a little longer. You can go 6.5, 7 feet, and we're going to put our second rod in. Back in our garage, what we're going to do now is we are going to get our wire where we want it to run through our wall at. Now I'm going to choose to do it a little bit lower to the ground instead of having a pass through up top and then having to run a tube down or conduit down to the bottom on the outside. Just makes it a little bit nicer. Everything's nice and close to the ground. So we have a hole saw here, and we're just going to make a hole right through our sheathing to the outside. And we're going to kind of keep it nice and tucked to this stud member. That way we can attach our ground wire to that and keep it nice and secure. So what we have here is we just have an electrical junction box, and that's just going to go right here to pass through to our wall. We also have a 90. We're just going to stick that in here like this. Right? And we can run our wire right up through here. It's going to get covered up to dirt to about here. What we can do when we run our wire through here is we can put some silicone in here. That way we're not getting any water or any insects, having a clear path into our garage. So what we have here is a grounding rod clamp. So what this is going to do is it's going to clamp onto our grounding rod, making a secure connection between our grounding rod and also our grounding wire. So we're going to clamp onto this grounding rod, run to our first one with our wire, and then into the garage. So we have our grounding clamp here. We're going to make our connection right here. We're going to put it down maybe about 1/2 inch. We're just going to snug this onto the grounding rod. So these teeth are biting into our grounding rod, making this a nice secure connection right here. What we're going to do is take our other grounding rod, and we're going to put this one on right now. That way we can just go 6 feet down this way and it'll be all ready for us. So what we're going to do now is we are going to put a 90-degree bend in this wire, like so. Run that wire right up there, and we're going to stick this out probably about 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch, and then we're going to snug this one down. So now that's really snug, and with this sticking up here like this, I'm going to take a hammer and bend that right over. Now we have a super secure connection. We are grounded to the rod with the clamp, and our grounding wire is grounded here to the clamp itself. So this is a nice secure connection. This thing isn't going anywhere. So now all we can do is we can just go ahead and take our other clamp, slide it down to our first grounding rod. So now we can just unwind this wire into our little trench that we have here up along our garage. We will slide our clamp that we already have in place right down here to our first connection here. Okay, so we want to do the same thing. We want to bend up to a 90 to get on the connection here. So we're going to bend this, make sure this is down in our trench good. Bend that up at a 90-degree bend there. Okay, and it's exactly the same as the other one. Snug this clamp down. And then we can snug our wire down. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tap this down so it's a lot more flush. Now we can go ahead and take our conduit pieces. We are going to be coming through our bell end here first. So we'll stick our elbow on first. Okay, that's about where we want it. Then we'll go ahead and fit our box on here. All right, so I'm liking that about right there. Once we have that set, now we can pass it through here, because this is probably the toughest bend to get this bent up, back around, and back through our wall. All right, now we can pass this wire in through our wall. Okay, so here is our connection. We have our ground wire coming up from our ground stake into our 90 and up into the garage. So this will get covered up with dirt. The reason we drive these down so far is because we don't want to hit them with a string trimmer or anything. And the reason we put this 90 on here is if we do get grass in here and we hit this, it's not going to damage our grounding wire. Everything is covered up by either dirt or some type of conduit to protect it as it goes into the garage. The only thing I haven't really found is how to securely attach these to the garage itself. So if you guys have a good option, whether it be to just drive a nail through here or some type of connection on the inside, I'd love to hear that in the comments below. But this is the way we are looking right now. We can go ahead and cover this back up with earth or ground, and then we can move to the inside. Now what we can do is we can take our ground wire, run it up along here behind our conduit and into our box. So we have our ground wire up here to the bottom of our box. What we're going to utilize is Square D's quick grips and just put a little V into our ground wire and then run it right up here to our neutral bus bar. There you have it. We have our grounding wire tied into our neutral bus bar. So the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this bonding screw and bond our electrical panel. What this screw does is it bonds the neutral bus bar where it goes right up here in the top corner, takes it through the neutral bus bar and into our panel. So those now are connected. So say you have a grounding bar over here on your panel, right? That grounding bar will be grounded to the panel itself if it is separate. We don't have that on this one, but many of them do. There is no way for that ground to make a connection to the neutral bus bar because it's elevated off the panel with this plastic backing. So we need to bond those together, and that's what this screw does. It goes through our neutral bus bar, ground or bonds the neutral bus bar to the panel itself, which if you had a ground bar over here on your side, it would make that connection then. Without this screw, there is no way for current to get from the neutral bus bar to your ground bar over here on the side. We have taken our ground wire and taken it right into our bus bar, but we are still going to bond our neutral bus bar to our panel itself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and head over to Appalachian DIY for more videos. Thanks again, guys, and I hope to see you next time.